Yo, people. Was that Echo? Is that me? Are we there? Are we live? Yo, people. Welcome back to my favorite part of the week. Actually, my second favorite part. Third favorite part. Fourth favorite part of the week. Because Liverpool play 3 times a week, basically. So when Liverpool are playing, that's my favorite time of the week. But my fourth, if Liverpool aren't playing, this is my favorite time of the week because I get to talk about Liverpool with some mates. And here we are again, people. Red Room is live and exclusive only on the Anfield Index channel. Guys, welcome back. As you can see, I've got familiar faces in Mo, Ben, and Keith. Sod them, we're not going to ask them how we're doing, but we have a special guest. We have someone making their debut, and Ross. How are we, pal? Hope you're doing very well. Welcome to the Red Room.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, lads. Looking forward to this. Ben has bigged you guys up massively, so yeah, proper excited for this.
If Ben has bigged us up, I'm over the moon because Ben hates everyone and everything. So if Ben has
That's true.
If Ben has bigged us up, I'll tell you what, lads. You guys must be special because Ben only likes
audible, you know.
Ben only likes good people. But go on. I will ask how you guys getting on. Scousemo is in the building. What are you saying, bro?
Yes, Grizz, I'm good, brother. Good to be back on the Red Room. It's been a minute for me, to be honest. Been probably a couple of weeks. Been quite busy. But yeah.
Quite busy, have we? Making our own channels and own shows and own podcasts, is it? Oh, is that what it is? The fame's got to your head, is it? Okay. Only message us when you need a retweet, is it? Okay.
Yeah, small fish, so it doesn't even matter. As you said, it's the best time of the week after Liverpool playing, so yeah, good to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. Ben, how are we doing? I was talking about how cold it is in bloody down south in the UK, but you're obviously boiling, 9 months of the year, probably pretty much in Dubai?
Well, you'd like to think so, mate, but I've fucking spent more time in Liverpool, to be fair.
Yeah, that's
usually freezing like yourself. But no, look, as always, mate, thanks very much. And when the Reds win, we always feel good. But yeah, cheers, lad.
When the Reds win, we always win. And someone who enjoys winning more than most is Mr. Goalmouth himself. Keith Cross is in the building. Keith, before we go any further, get a haircut, lad.
You reckon it's the time to get a haircut? I've already done my 5th hair flick, and it's only been 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're doing your impression of Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, that at the moment. I'm good with Grizz. Honestly, exactly we love to win. We love to win, and I just get used to watching Liverpool win so many football matches. Every day is another day, but this one in particular, I feel like it feels almost like inevitable. And that is the first time as a Liverpool fan I've ever felt that a game is inevitable and that we will win no matter what. And last night, it was the exact same thought process because we were absolutely terrible. So that inevitability is crazy. That aura is crazy. It feels like Fergie's days. Do you know what I mean? You're used to watch Man United and then you'd be like, oh, how the hell did they win? Last minute, how the hell did they win? We've become who we most hated. It's crazy.
It's mad, isn't it? I done a video on my channel, Rarity, about a couple of weeks ago when I said we're the most emotional club. We have so many memories and emotions like no other club. And I mean it. I'm not just saying as a Liverpool fan, but even neutrals can talk about how many epic moments our club has been in. It's crazy. Mo, I guess we start off with another emotional moment. We're going to obviously tuck into the Southampton game, the madness of it, debutants, injuries, look forward to Palace, which I think is probably going to be one of our hardest games of the season. We look into it all. But I guess we'll get the emotion, negative part, not negative, but the sad part out of the way. The Leoni injury left a damp feeling, didn't it?
Oh, honestly, gutted for the lad. Absolutely heartbroken for him. That is, honestly, what can you say? It's just the worst type of luck ever. I'm so gutted for him. He looked so good yesterday as well. He looked like a leader at 18. He was a man mountain on that pitch. And then to get that ACL injury, wow, that is just so sad. I feel so sorry for him. Hopefully speedy recovery doesn't affect him, comes back fit and strong, and he fulfills his potential because clearly you can see the potential there. honestly, when he went down, because at first they were talking about maybe a concussion or something, weren't they? And obviously a concussion's not good as well. You don't hope that for anybody, do you know what I mean? But I was just hoping maybe it's a little minor concussion, he'd be okay. But then when I seen the reports today, man, I was gutted. And I'm sure the rest of the lads are the same.
Yeah, Ben, it's so sad, isn't it? Because basically he's been, what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Like a massive signing, in effect, really, a young 18-year-old costing that much money, but obviously overshadowed with the big signings that we made with Ekitike and the rest of the lads, Isak and whatever. So he wasn't talked about as much. And then obviously trying to break the partnership of Konate and Virgil was always going to be tough. He was always going to be behind Joe as well, right? He makes his debut. In fact, I've got no doubts that he was the best centre-half on the pitch, even with Joe Gomez. Like, we'll get into the personal performances. He looked immense. He looked imperious. Just innocuous, man, against like just the way it happened. And as soon as it happened, we knew it was serious because the guy was almost in tears, wasn't he?
Mate, I've never, ever seen someone play the the debut on fucking do the ACL. Such a young lad as well, mate. It's like, you knew straight away it was curtains for him. You know, you knew straight away. Certainly someone in the debut, do you know what I mean? They're not going to bullshit all the rolling around on the floor. But mate, he looked like a little stellar centre half, didn't he? A little Rolls Royce out there, and everything was immaculate, and you could see why the club went for him. And his signing, Grizz, I know it obviously isn't as big as the other ones, but his signing became bigger the day we couldn't get Mark Gay over the line. Do you know what I mean? Because as much as we love Joe, me and you spoke highly of Joe, and we mentioned how highly Gay is like a 2.0 on a few shows back, but it's a massive risk for Liverpool now, and it's caused a massive concern because, let's be honest, how long do we get with Joe? Do you know what I mean? That's the biggest problem. And this kid, really, when I seen him play yesterday, I thought, fuck me, he could play regular, this kid. And you'd have just thought you could have seen him with the Van Dijks, do you know what I mean? And the big thing is, he's got to come back the same, do you know what I mean? And we've seen these players, like for instance, one of the lads mentioned it to me before. That's Sven Botman during Newcastle and done his ACL. It's took him a long time to get back to scratch. And he's been excellent when he first came in. So I tell you what, the club must have been devastated today. I did little things last night. It wasn't good. But my mate who speaks to some of the lads there, and you knew straight away, anyone that was just trying to, sugarcoat it, that kid was curtains that as soon as he come off that pitch with the strap on his knee. And it was a good night seeing the likes of the Isak getting the goal, and we'll go into details on the other goal, but that just put it off for me. That just ruined the night, and I'm sure it's the same.
It was, that. It was, Keith. As Helio says, Leoni's young. That helps a lot when it comes to these kind of injuries. But then again, the same happened to Gomez, and we all know how that story continued. I think he's trying to say, like, Gomez is never the same since those injuries. But he's got the perfect role model, mentor, example in the man himself, Virgil van Dijk, right, in terms of coming back from this kind of injury. But like Ben said, even though I was excited about the game and I really wanted us to go through, honestly, I'll ask you guys what you think about the League Cup, but I love it. I love it as a trophy. Honestly, I had one of my best days out against Chelsea, when we beat them with the kids. So I love the League Cup, but it left a sour taste, I can't lie.
It's so funny you said we're going to talk about our experience or our feelings about the League Cup. This injury sums up my feelings towards the League Cup. The League Cup at one stage was a trophy that was worth winning. These days, it's a trophy that brings us nothing but issues. And this Leoni injury, if we're being frank, he should have played 60 minutes. If we're being frank, right? If we're talking about preseason, if we're talking about first game, intensity, Southampton had a lot of the ball, should have played 60 minutes before coming off, in my opinion. Kept on the pitch a little bit too long. And it's just in a competition that just, nobody needs. I'm sorry to say. No, I would argue that the players that put a performance in yesterday did so because they just want to make sure they can play some extra games. But by and large, I don't think a lot of the players looked interested in the League Cup match yesterday. That was the worst performance from a second-string side I've seen in a cup competition for Liverpool for many a year. Honestly, I don't think they play like they really wanted to be there. They kind of just coasted by. And losing Leoni to this competition in particular, with the competition that everybody says it's to help get everybody warmed up, blood in, etc., just took away a centre back already. And the deeper we go in there, the more risk we take with 3 centre backs. So it's so unfortunate for Leoni, and I hope he makes it back and he's got the right support system around him. But damn you, League Cup!
Damn you, League Cup, says Keith. Ross, what's your feelings on the League Cup? Does it mean anything to you in terms of importance? We know it's the least of the major trophies, but overall, I mean, I cited squad harmony and rhythm and etc. But Keith's blown my opinion and theory out the window. He thinks it's a load of shit. What's your opinion on it?
I think it has a place, and obviously, if we look at it from our perspective, we're at the top fighting for the elite titles, you know. So I think our view of the League Cup would be slightly different to, say, let's say, a mid-table team, you know. But for us, I think I kind of agree with Keith. It's a competition where we've only got like one eye on it, if that. You know, we play a lot of the youngsters. We've had, you know, historically, we have a look at Chelsea. The youngsters came in, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? And done excellent. So, yeah, for me, it's hard to want to go, you know, we want to win trophies, of course. I'm not saying I don't want Liverpool to win trophies, but the Carabao Cup for me just isn't that there. You know, I'd rather some young lads get the experience amongst these bigger teams, you know, like yesterday was a wicked game for Rio to come in, get some minutes under his belt, you know. So I see it as an opportunity more for those younger kids in our team to go out and do what they got to do, prove a point, you know, make a statement. But as Keith said, losing Leoni to competition, you know, maybe he should have come off, and especially we missed out on Gahey. It's a massive blow having 3 centre-backs now in Verge, Konate and Gomez. You know, if one of them picks up an injury, I don't know where we go. I hope we don't go back to the Hendo at centre-back days, you know, with Fabinho. So, yeah.
When you still want to pick your poison, lads. It's either Reece Williams, do you know what I mean? Or Hendo.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Pick your poison, lads. You know what I mean? But look, I get it. I get what you guys are saying. Look, mixed reaction in the chat. Obviously, is opinionated. Some people are saying it is important. Some people are saying I agree with Keith and Ross and Ben. League Cup. Look, I'm not saying it's the priority. Of course not. But I do enjoy it.
Wembley Day out's always good. We've been many a times. Yeah, it's left a sour taste. The problem is, right, with the League Cup this year, with the orientation of the Champions League, it doesn't fall in a good state, the final. And I think, you know, Liverpool were in such a difficult position, you know, with the fucking PSG games and that Newcastle game. Any other year, it's been sound. But when you're looking at it now, do you really want a fucking Carabao Cup final when you're playing them knockout Champions League ties? And I think it caught Liverpool in a bad position last year. But look, trophy's a trophy. We always fucking throwing it at Arteta. So Liverpool clean them all up. It is what it is. I'll take it every day of the week.
Do you know what I was going to say, guys? Do you know what okay, let me dress this up a little bit differently then, all right? If we play this set of lads or this type of team all the way, would you be more approving of it then? Like, if we don't bring in the heavy hitters, because you know what we do. As soon as we reach the quarterfinals, semi-finals, the big boys come and gone.
Come on to the team.
Go on, Keith,
I was going to say, right, you see on that point always sounds good in September. Always sounds good in September. But when we get to like November and we're playing like stupid fixture lists where it's like 72 hours between games because we've got a League Cup quarterfinal to deal with, that's when all of a sudden other like more senior pros have to come in as injuries come up, as injuries pick up. So it's kind of like at the time when you've got a full switch squad, it sounds great. But as things start chipping away, that's where it becomes a hindrance.
Mo, you have the final word on the League Cup. And where do you see it, how you see it? I think the rest of the lads are a bit anti, if you know what I mean. They've all slapped my opinion in the face. Can you give me yours? So I can feel better about myself a little bit.
I mean, the lads make some valid points, I can't lie to you. But in my opinion, a cup's a cup. It's not like, I agree with what Keith said. When it gets to like December time, we might play some first team players. But what's this round? The third round, the fourth round, fifth round. You're not usually going to play the first team players. They're all having a little break. They're staying at home with their feet up. It's going to be the squad players like Leoni. Like you said earlier that he should have played 60 minutes. I'm not too sure. Maybe he should have played the full 90. It's his first match. Bleed him into the team eventually so he can play more games in the future. Because anything can happen to Kanate, anything can happen to Gomez, and then he needs to get thrown straight into the team. Growing up, I didn't see Liverpool win too many trophies, so I'm never going to take for granted the trophy. I'm happy with Liverpool winning the League Cup. Honestly, I'm happy with us winning the League Cup. There's a reason why Liverpool's won the most League Cups. We love this trophy. We've won it so many times. We won it more than anyone else. And maybe a controversial take, but in recent days, I think it's more, like, let me word this correctly. I'm not going to say more important or better, but it's probably the better trophy to go for than the FA Cup. Because I feel like with the FA Cup, it comes in the time.
Latch on the season where it does clash with the end of the season where you could be going for a Champions League and a league.
You're going to Champions League semi-finals and then midweek you've got an FA Cup match or whatever. Or you're playing Premier League and then you've got an FA Cup match the week after. Like, it's coming at the business end of the season. With the League Cup, everything's done and dusted by February. And then with the semi-finals, I remember last season when we played Tottenham, we lost the first leg, but it was like, it didn't really matter because the next game was in like 4 weeks' time. And at one point, you completely forgot that match even happened. Do you know what I mean? So you've got such a huge break in between the semi-final as well. And then you play the match in February. If you've got a good squad, like we definitely do, then you can quite easily just find yourself at a semi-final. I feel like that's what happened to us last season. I feel like by accident we just happened to be in the semi-final, and then we thought, all right, let's just take this serious. And I feel like that will happen again this season because our squad is extremely strong. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, trophy's trophy. I think I'm with Grizz, but the lads make some valid points.
Ross, I'm going to come to you first. We're going to tuck into the game to start off with. And as I said, I was excited. I'm always excited to see Liverpool play. Kids, debutants, experienced players, squad players, call them what you want. I thought it was a nice mixture. The likes of Joe Gomez, Curtis Jones mixed with Chiesa, and then obviously mixed with the youngsters. We've spoken about Leoni, who we all agree was fantastic. I guess start off with the back. Mamadashvili making his main debut, right? Pre-season don't count, does it? I thought he looked assured, Ross. What did you think?
Yeah, I think he's a good player, don't get me wrong. I was a little bit, in like pre-season games, I was a little bit weary of him. The incident happened with Tsimikas and so on. But I think the thing with Mamadashvili, he comes with a lot of experience, doesn't he? It's not like he's been playing second fiddle elsewhere. He's been playing in La Liga against some big players, some big teams. So I think that expectation of him looking assured, that was always on his shoulders. You know, it's what we bought him for ultimately. So yeah, I think to come in and perform the way you have, I know at Valencia you got a lot of kind of stick at times. But yeah, I think it was a good game. You know, it's what we can expect of him. You know, I don't think we should expect any less of a player of that quality, really, should we? So, yeah, I completely agree with you, Grizz. I think he looked assured, and it's long may it continue.
Keith, totally on the other side of the pitch, a certain striker was making his debut, wasn't he? Again, another full debut. Could have, should have scored literally in the first few minutes. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that touch from Chiesa was absolute quality. I thought that the net's bulging because this guy's such a cold finisher, but great save. And it was like McCarthy again. He's a nemesis for us. Every team he bloody comes with.
It's true, McCarthy, but I'll raise you though on that, Grizz, because McCarthy does like to give away a lot of goals. It was him last season. He was back Soberslide for the hit at St. Mary's. So when that happened with McCarthy, I was looking at him, I was just laughing. I was like, oh my guy. He makes he's a great shot stopper. He is, he would have been a great keeper 20 years ago in the league. I think, so I lost my train of thought completely. Where was I going with this?
Well, I was asking you about Isak. Finish.
Oh, Isak, sorry. I lost my train of thought completely. Isak. It's like blank. Oh, wow, that was poor. Isak. You see that chance that he had with the first couple seconds of the game? Those are the kind of chances that I'm expecting him to bury one shot and kill.
Later on,
later on. So, but the fact that he's already getting into those positions, I think is all the signs that we need. I think his cameos so far have just shown more than enough that the upgrade on the striker position is crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
The rebuild we pulled off right at this moment in time is insane. Like watching Isak, watching Hugo do things through the middle of the park we haven't seen in years through that middle. So, you know, he took his goal well. He took his goal very well. I thought he was assured in that goal, and I thought, you know, physically he looks like he's back on track. So lucky for us that Hugo's been the man to take Isak's spotlight. But we'll talk about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, do you know what I liked apart from his goal? There's a couple of times now he's taken the ball on the left, almost in a left winger situation, 1-on-1, and you know what? He's spooked his opponent every single time. Like they don't know whether he's going on the outside or the inside. And this reminds me of, do you remember Torres on his debut against Chelsea? And you know what? Both of these lads, Isak as well, Ekitike as well, have been in those situations on the left, inside left, where they've just killed the opponent and the defender. And this is them without having any understanding or rhythm or, you know, compatibility with the rest of the team. It bodes well. Ben, what did you make of his debut? Of course, playing with Chiesa and Rio, a totally untried thing. I know we're all big fans of Rio. Yeah. You love Rio as well. How did you think them three fared in that opening? Because it was a bit of a tricky spell after that. I thought, here we go, lovely jubbly, but we kind of we weren't brilliant, but it's to be expected, right? 11 changes.
Oh, 100%. And, you know, we mentioned it before. A few players could have been a little bit disinterested maybe with the thing. And some of the senior players last year didn't look too great when it was against Plymouth, did they? Do you know what I mean? They were a bit like... Ugh. But at the end of the day, mate, you know, I think where we're falling short slightly is we need to get the ball to the number 9. I feel like a lot of the time I'm watching Isak fucking running around and you can see him like, give me the ball. So it'll come in time, like we spoke the other day. We've been more of a winger side, haven't we, with the Sadios and, you know, Salah's over the years, Diaz, you know, in particular as well. But I was so impressed, in particular, Federico Chiesa. I know we've had the debates recently, is he good enough? For me, he is. He's earned himself a place on the weekends. He has to be involved at some time. And yeah, mate, I'm just so impressed with certain little players. And, you know, I thought Rio again had a good run out. Probably wasn't his bestest game, given ball logging slightly. But to be honest, mate, you know what? As good as we can all talk about Isak, we should give a good go on Chiesa. I thought he was brilliant last night. Do you know what, right? The thing with Chiesa, you know, he showed glimpses last night. I know it's only Southampton. Let's not take anything too far. But he showed me little parts of his game where it looked like the old Chiesa, the tenacity. Constantly, his fucking hair was drenched in sweat. His shirt was covered in shite. Do you know what I mean? He didn't let anything go. And that's why I was so impressed. That was one of the best things of the game for me. Just seeing him. Because I think he's slightly hard done by and feel a little bit sorry for him. I know people are a bit unsure. And I get it. But ultimately, if someone's going to show you that attitude, you know, fuck me, he's got to be given more of a chance. And I thought last night was the perfect day for him. Do you know what one thing I'll say, because we go to games, a few of the lads do as well, he won't fucking let you down. He really will not let you down. And Jurgen Klopp would have loved to play like that over the years because he fucking would have bought into him big time. And there's a reason why his song's so big on the Kop. And this fella will do something big this year. Don't be surprised if he scores one of the biggest fucking goals for Liverpool in a big final. Because, mate, I believe in him and I think he's going to come good. But yeah, ultimately, mate, I'm happy with it.
Mo, I think Ben made a superb point about attitude. I'm sure you mentioned attitude. If you didn't, then I'll take the credit. But Ben, speaking about sort of players being not interested or disinterested in the past or, you know, even last year, whatever, that could have easily been Chiesa this season. Left out of the Champions League squad, right? Playing with the kids again and the debutants, so the B team, right? Am I ever going to get a chance with the big boys? Like, I'm Federico Chiesa, Italian international, won the World Cup, you know, or played in the final at the very least, right? Well, he won the Euros. Won the World Cup? No, he won the World Cup, right?
No, Euros.
Won the Euros.
Qualified for the World Cup. It was weird. Italy.
All right, we'll scrap that part. Jack's on the editing. But he could have easily had an attitude of,
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not going to be given a chance, what's the point? If I'm going in January or something, what's the point? I'll have a little kickback. But his attitude was the shining light on the pitch. And not only his attitude, even I've doubted him, and I'm a massive Chiesa fan. 3 years ago, I thought Chiesa should be the salary replacement. That's how highly I thought Chiesa. I thought he's one of the top 5 attackers in world football. But then we know the injuries, etc. situation with Juve, blah, blah, blah. He ends up at Liverpool. We're unsure. Cheap signing. Hasn't been given a chance. Stroke unlucky. Stroke not physically up to it. Whatever you want to use the excuse. He looks fit. He looks strong. He looks hungry. Fit, strong, hungry. Federico Chiesa is only a plus for Liverpool.
Oh, of course, 100%. And you guys have summed it up perfectly. Like, he could have easily just sulked after a 16-year-old took his place in the Champions League squad.
Yeah.
Quite easily, he could have just sulked and thought, well, why am I even bothering? But yesterday, that performance, forget the 2 assists. It was the way he was just running around that pitch. Oh, Gaffer, you want me to play left wing? I'm playing left wing. You want me to play right wing? I'm playing right wing. And behind the striker? No problem. He was just non-stop relentless. And even after the match, Slot mentioned them and praised them and said he showed real mentality and he showed real energy on the pitch. And that's why he eventually impacted the match. And similarly, he praised Robertson. So clearly, Slot is taking an interest of him now. We've spoken about this on a number of occasions over the last season, saying, why did we buy Chiesa? It's such a strange signing. Like, he doesn't look like he's ever going to get any minutes. But with what he done yesterday and with what Ekitike did, which was just insanely stupid, and I'm sure we're going to speak about it, now on Saturday, Chiesa's going to have an opportunity to play, guaranteed. Isak's not going to play full 90. So the substitution for Isak is going to be Chiesa. He'll probably get at least 30 minutes. So in that 30 minutes, if he continues playing the way he played yesterday and he impacts that match, because Crystal Palace is going to be a really, really difficult game. We're playing against a team that's undefeated in like 17. I know we often think Selhurst Park is like a difficult ground for us, but we do have a good record there. So yeah, I'm just saying that I think it's going to be a very tight game. So if Chiesa could come in and show that attitude and show that mentality tomorrow and create at least a few actions where he can create maybe a goal or score a goal himself, potentially playing up front, honestly, the rest of the season for him could just be looking very bright. Like, it's funny because football is all about opportunities. Like, that's an opportunity there. And I know we just touched on the unfortunate injury to Leoni. But with Leoni out now for the season, means Chiesa is now in the Champions League squad. So now he has that opportunity also in the Champions League. So you never know what can happen. As Ben said, he might score such a vital goal in the Champions League for us this season. Chiesa, I wouldn't put it past him because he's that type of player. He's
a big time player. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. He's been like I tweeted yesterday. I tweeted yesterday. He had the air of someone who knows he's played levels above everyone else on this pitch. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you could tell he was strutting and he was doing his thing, but with the arrogance, but also with the confidence. Like, it wasn't arrogance and not working hard. He was showing the touches and the skill and everything, but like Ben said, he was showing the graft and hard graft. How many times did he press? He should have. Look, Ross. Really, he should have had 3 assists, right? Because that first opening one with Isak, the first one with Isak, where Isak gets a save. The second one where he puts in his path, and the third one, the actual second assist that he gets. What a lovely pass from Robertson. And again, this is a moment to respect and appreciate his unselfishness, right, Ross? Anyone else in this situation, hungry for a goal, needs a goal, would have controlled that. Oh, I got the control right. Now it's got to tuck it away. But really, he thought, empty net for Ekitike. Here we go.
I think he's trying to prove a point that, you mentioned about he's played at that top level. All of the effort he's putting in and everything that he's doing for the team, I think he's trying to prove a point to get back to where he was. Like, I'm along with you guys. I rate Chiesa massively. I think he's phenomenal. And I don't think he's necessarily had the chance for us so far to prove it. But as Mo said, coming back into that Champions League squad, there's going to be plenty of chances to go into big games and make a statement. So, yeah, I think in terms of what you said yesterday, Grizz, he could have had 3 assists. Obviously, it didn't work out. He got the 1 assist for Ekitike, which I'm sure we'll touch on now. But I love the guy. I do. I love his song. I love him. I think he works his ass off. I think he could be a very, very vital player for us.
I think Keith, His interview after the game was beautiful as well. I don't know if you've had a chance, guys, to watch his interview with the lads at This Is Anfield. Shout out that This Is Anfield. I always use their website. I used to use it for Red Fellas all the time. He's just so... I don't know if he's a changed man because we didn't hear much from him in the first season. But he seems like a changed man in terms of, look, he's saying all the right things. Like, hey, I'm at a big club. If I wanted to be a regular, I could just go to any club I want to. But I'm at Liverpool. They've got big players, and they're going to buy big players. So I've got to prove myself. And then he said, I love the song, but I want to give them back something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them just to sing my song for the fucking sake of it because it's a lovely song. So he's saying everything that we want to hear, and it's making us fall in love with him. Me, again, because I used to be in love with him, and then I fell a little bit out of love with him. I'm like that. I'm cold-blooded. Yeah? People in my close circle tell you, yeah, if I don't get the same love, you know what I mean, I drift away. But now he's showing me different levels again, and I'm falling back in love with him. He's saying all the right things, and like the rest of the lads said, this could be like a new signing, lads.
Look, I think the whole idea of taking your chances, that narrative was absolutely spot on. He will never get a better opportunity to get back into the limelight, and you only have to look at someone like Ousmane Dembele, you know, a player who was literally told,
great comparison,
done, he was finished, etc. Couldn't get into the first team, etc. Again, these players could wilter off, but they believe that they belong at the biggest clubs, and they believe that they belong on the training pitches with the biggest players. And Chiesa, for what it's worth, it must be doing something incredible in training, insofar as he must be on their level on the training pitch, because the players love him. The fans love him. The club didn't force him out. I mean, it was well known that the club were interested in letting him go, but it's not that they kind of said, oh, we're going to cancel your contract, blah, blah, blah. It was nowhere near a disaster. It was kind of like, okay, you want to stick around? You can still fight for your place. And now he's showing the quality that he had from before, from what we remember him from. Yeah. And he's getting results from said quality. So now all of a sudden, again, we're in the remontando opportunity here, because it's kind of like, wow, okay, so you can still do all of that stuff that made you such a great player in the first place. And the worst thing that could happen to him this season is that he's back in the shop window. So for Liverpool, it could turn out to be a brilliant bit of business. For Chiesa himself, it might be a great opportunity to go elsewhere if that's what he wants to do. Alternatively, he might force himself way back into the starting lineup to such an extent that he becomes more than a squad player. That will remain to be seen. But for sure, right now, he's doing all the right things. And you have to rate him, because he could have stayed in Italy. He could have gone. He could have played for Torino. He could have played for Udinese. He would have been well paid. He's Chiesa after all. He would have been well paid.
Even better teams, probably. Even better teams.
Yeah. Could have ended up as a squad player at Inter, but he took the risk, really, to be amongst... This is the biggest club he was going to get to, and he took the risk to say, listen, I'm going to forego everything just to get fit, just to get sharp, and just to get back to who I was. And again, he's proved it on the training pitch, and he's starting to prove it on the hallowed turf. Long may it continue. I love a story like this.
Chiesa, Leoni, Isak, we've discussed all the parts of the game that sort of, not controversial, but sort of, you know, the highs and the lows. Mo, I want to come to you, that probably the most comical part of the game, but maybe it's not comical depending on result against Palace on Saturday. Hugo Ekitike comes on, scores a tapping in the cop. Literal tapping in the cop, and goes off doing the Messi celebration where Messi's showing the thing. What was your thoughts when he was doing that? And was you Frimpong? Because I was Frimpong.
I had my head in my hands. I was thinking, what are you doing? Like, genuinely, that Messi celebration he did at the Bernabeu with all the Real Madrid fans hissing at him throughout the whole match.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
It don't make sense. You're like, Anfield, we love you. You don't need to shout your name. We know who you are. Genuinely, we're singing your name. You're amazing. Why have you got to do that? I just don't understand the celebration. Why? Like, why do that? Like, oh, it's so dumb. But obviously, maybe he forgot he had the yellow card. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's very young as well. Let's just hope it doesn't cost us on Saturday. But also, that rule is just stupid. Like, why are you getting booked for taking your shirt off? Like, Like, I don't understand it. Like, if you take off your shirt, what's the ramifications? Why are you getting a yellow card? I just don't understand that rule in football. I'm not just saying that because a Liverpool player got sent off for it. But, like, in general, is it because when they're celebrating, the sponsorships are not shown on the cameras? I don't know. I genuinely...
I think it is. I think it is something like that. I know it's that. It's political messages. Those are the two main ones. But I reckon that sponsorship, like you said, you know, they didn't pay those big boy sponsorships not to get those nice clips of Mohamed Salah bagging in the goal. So definitely money.
Oh my God! So yeah, it's just probably definitely is sponsorships and money motivated.
Yeah.
It was just dumb. Like, honestly, even the first one was stupid. The first yellow card, the way he just kicked the ball away. It's like, it's so petulant. What's the point? It's like, I hate making comparisons, but I felt like I was watching Nunes again. I was like, this lad's
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, he's lost his mind.
I went even further back, lads. I went Balotelli.
Yeah. Maybe not that harsh, chill.
Well, I mean, no, the reason I tell you why. I tell you why, guys, and then you'll understand more how my brain works. Because Nunes doesn't give interviews, and we didn't hear from him much. But that interview Isak done, Ben, and I'll come to you next, right, Ben? That interview, not interview, but you know that little TikTok thing or whatever he's done, where people have asked him questions, and he said, you know, who's the most hardest opponent you've faced? No one. That was such a Balotelli answer. And then he does that, and Balotelli would do that. That's why I was thinking Balotelli. Arrogance, confidence, stupidity. Our manager, I think, handled it perfectly. Don't know what you think.
Tiny slot to a T, isn't it? Tiny slot to a T. He's a professional man. He kept going on about maybe I'm old-fashioned and all that shit. But I agree with Bo. I think the ruling is quite shit, taking it off. He could have took his fucking shorts off, then he would have got fucking really sent off, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? So taking his top off's not the end of the way. I think you're going to be honest about it. But where I fail to understand it is, I'll come back onto your question, is why it has to have any effect with the fucking league. That just blows my fucking mind. But anyway, you know, we win. He's obviously got carried away with it. I like his arrogance. I think to be the best, you've got to act like you know you're good. Do you know what I mean? And ultimately, he's a young lad who's been signed for a club, for a massive club, massive money. And he knows there's a fella who's just come in who ultimately everyone wants to see start. So I think he just got caught in the moment a bit. Do you know what I mean? He's seen his competitor. I know he was happy on the side. He's seen his competitor get a goal. But he's probably wanting to show people that fucking I'm here as well. And, you know, I was pissed.
That's what he's thinking is that.
He's sent off.
I'm struggling to...
Yeah.
I'm struggling to see the thinking from his side of view. Like, Ben's given his version. Mo's given his version. Ross, Keith, have you got anything that you might think could be the thinking? Like, let people know that I'm still here. I don't know. If that's the case, I'm not sure if I like it. I'm not gonna look. I love him. I love him. I'm not sure if I like it. Like, if an Arsenal player had done that, I would have said, "You calm down, bruv." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, Ross and Keith.
I got to be honest. I'm with Ben. I like Ekitike's arrogance. I think we've been too soft of a team over the years.
Yeah, agree.
I think we've been too soft to have that little shithousery. Like, so obviously the second yellow is shit. But the first one, Mo, you touched on, where he like hit the ball away. I gotta be honest. I love shit like that. I do. I think it's amazing. It's that little like, I'm not gonna let you get away with this attitude type of thing.
He's a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Isak, like, I was watching Isak at the Everton game, right, on the touchline. And when Isak wasn't getting the ball, he was like a little bit pissed off. And I'm thinking, he wants to make a statement here. And I think we need players like that in the squad. That it's that killer mentality in it. It's like, it doesn't matter what is in front of me. And Grizz, you mentioned that interview that Ekitike did. Again, I love that. To sit there and go, I don't watch any of our players. Who's the hardest defender? No one. Like, you got to have some bollocks to do that when you're playing with Virgil van Dijk. You know, he's been in the Champions League up against, like, the likes of Ramiro from Spurs and absolutely bodied them with our finish, you know? So, don't know if Ramiro played that game, by the way, but yeah, I love him.
Pretend, lads.
Yeah, no.
You know what?
Go on.
I'll say one thing about the whole, like, Hugo doing the shirt celebration. I absolutely 100% believe that he did that as a reminder, don't forget about me.
Oh, you think he done it for
And you know why? And you
That's
know
the only
why?
thing I'm trying to work out. That's the only
It's
thing
the
in my
P-
mind. I don't know why.
it's
Like, what was I thinking? But
It's
okay.
the PSG PTSD, man. He was at PSG. He was getting, bullied around by the big boys, etc., etc. He's finally come to a club. He's finally shown, made the statement, etc. He knows that there's noise around him, and he definitely did that deliberately, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the guy. I'm just as much as the guy as the next guy behind me.
Got the
And you
most
know
goals
what?
kicked as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a Salah. We're gonna have a Salah Mane thing with these two.
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
gonna
I
have
love
a Salah Isak Hugo. By the way, you know what I mean. I think a lot of them, because they get even Verts. All of these guys really.
Oh, I love
It's
that.
going to be a competition between a lot of these guys. Who's going to want to
Top
be
of the game as well. All of these, mate.
It takes them to different levels, doesn't it? We've seen it. Like, it pushes players on. So all it's going to do is elevate them.
Daz is in the building. How you doing, Daz? He says, still bloody stupid.
He's right.
Yeah, Daz is old school like me. Big up Daz, all the way from USA. Another thing that humored me before we go on to what I consider a massive, massive game and probably one of the biggest games of the season already. Did you not see that mad guy, Milos Kerkez, come on the pitch? Did you see his little cameo where he's just going around smashing the ball into the crowd, going around sliding into tackles? And I'm going to come to you, Mo, because we haven't discussed his man of the match performance from last week, where you've been a little bit hesitant, critical, apprehensive about him. But has he grown in your estimation last couple of weeks?
See, this is one of the things that I like about being a Liverpool fan. We're okay with criticising our own players. We're not just going to defend them to the hill because we're delusional. If we see if I think there's a certain player that I think maybe not up to scratch, no one's going to shoot me down when I mention it. Like, that's what happened when I mentioned about Kerkez, and then eventually some people started to notice. But then I've got to give him flowers as well. East Everton is fantastic. Won every single header at that back post. Don't know what he was doing for their goal, but let's just ignore that one, because overall in the match he was really, really good. But yesterday when he just came on, it just epitomizes him.
That was such a Milos Kerkez 20 minutes or so.
It just epitomizes him. Like, genuinely, this is what I see all the time at Bournemouth. And to this day, I'm still confused how he managed to get that PFA Player of the Year or Player Team of the Year or whatever. Genuinely, the lad is just 100 miles per hour, aggression, like full force all the time. And for Bournemouth, it works because that's how they play. They remind me of like the Klopp days when we were just like just flags everywhere. Bournemouth are just like that. That's what you got to expect with Kerkez. Honestly, that's what's going to happen with Kerkez.
I think by the end of this,
then more of the other matches and even yesterday, because anything could happen with that lad. Honestly, he's going to be.
I can't wait. By the end of this season, you're going to be shaking my hand. You're going to say, you know what, I love him.
I hope I do. I pray I do. And I love him now. Don't get me wrong. I love him now. But I hope I can shake your hand.
I know what you mean. I've always said it. I agree with you that he's got a mad script. He wasn't my first choice. I wanted Nori or Hunter ahead of him. Yeah. But I said I wouldn't mind Kerkez because Kerkez is a player. There's a player in him. And if there's a coach in Europe that could get the best out of him, I think it's our lad. Like, 100%. I think Slot will get the best out of him because Slot's got this influence. You can tell already, guys. Slot's got this massive aura and influence on him. We didn't know he had this, right? But in one season, we've realized, you know what? This guy's got some aura. And the way he's handled everything thrown at him has been fantastic.
You know what it is? I don't mind a maverick, like a little maverick who's like a little loose cannon. But when that maverick or loose cannon is a defender, honestly, that makes me scared. And that's the problem with Kerkez.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He could genuinely have 7 amazing games in a row and then just have one of the most brain-dead moments ever and just do something absolutely calamitous. Like, get sent off for no reason. He could do what Hugo Ekitike did, like, against Crystal Palace. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised.
Bad moment, yeah.
He's got those bad moments. I don't like that in a defender. That's the last thing I want from my defenders.
Mo, does he remind you, I may get slaughtered for this, but does he remind you of Moreno?
Yeah. We said
Put it this way, people are talking about that now. I was tweeting about him being like Moreno towards the end of last year. People are only copping onto it now. Honestly, I think people watch my Twitter, and they just start running with their own narratives. Because my Twitter is gold, you know. If you go back on the day when I used to say and stuff like that, like I'm talking about Kirkes when he's playing at Bournemouth in December.
Everyone go follow at Mabdi23 right
Just
now.
dig deep through it all.
Inside scoop, yeah.
Don't go too deep though, because you never know what you're gonna find.